Hey, it's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install these Konig XB16 assisted tension diamond pattern snow tire chains on our 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 2500. This is on a tire size 245/75/17. Make sure you check the fit guide at eTrailer to make sure you're getting the right chains for your tire. These chains are going to be a good option for you if you live in a place that gets a decent amount of inclement weather. They're going to handle really well in light to heavy snow and even some light ice. They do that, first of all, because they do have this diamond pattern, which gets you a lot more coverage on the tire and helps you a lot with turning, compared to a ladder pattern style that gets a lot of help starting and stopping, but is a little bit bumpier. These are also going to offer you a smoother ride. The chains themselves are square links, so that helps a lot with that bite and to that light snow and ice that I mentioned. They're also made of a manganese nickel alloy, which is going to help you, or help the chains rather, stand up to that weather. It's going to help them have a longer lifespan and hold up against rust and corrosion, get you a few more seasons. The inside chains do have a nice powder coat finish, which not only protects the rims from the chains, but also your hands if you were to be installing them and you are out in the cold. They're not going to stick to that quite as easily. Konig does a really good job of making all their connection points red and easily identifiable, including the assisted tensioning cable, which we use here to help us tension the chains. The chains do come two to a set in this hard protective outer shell. The case does a really good job of keeping the chains secure and keeping the weather out. There's also a nice hook and loop patch on the back, so if you want to leave these in your car in the back or somewhere, they're not going to be sliding around and making a bunch of noise. As far as the installation of these chains goes, it's pretty straightforward, but we always recommend that you do it in your garage beforehand, just so you practice figuring out how they work before you're stranded on the side of the road trying to do that. You can check out how we did it right now. To start the process, we first like to lay the chains out flat, making sure that nothing is caught or twisted or tangled. Especially with this long assisted tensioning cable, it tends to get wrapped around things pretty easily. Also, you'll notice that there is this gap here. That's where the tire is going to go. And we want to make sure that the chains are facing the right way. We do that by checking these hoops at the end of each set of links, making sure that the flat side is going to be the side making contact with our tire, rather than these hooks on the other side. So, once we have everything laid out where we want it to go, we can pass one side of the chains around the back side of our tire, doing our best to keep that gap that we set for ourselves earlier, and feeding the rest of the chains around, just like that. Then we can make our first connection by grabbing one of each side, bringing them up around the back of the tire, and fitting the stud into the catch just like that. Then we want to drape the rest of the chains around, and we can make our second connection using this loose red link and this red hook. We have ours just a little bit caught back here. Not a big deal, and it's probably going to happen to you as well. So now we have enough, we can make that connection. Try to spread things out just a little bit more, and we can come down to the bottom and do our final connection by fitting this assisted tensioning cable through this catch, just like that. And then you can pull back on it and you'll hear it clicking into place as we get that tension into the cables. And then we can pick however many of these we'd like to use to get more tension in. So we'll try one, go straight up, probably not quite enough. Go to the second one and get these as far as we can, making sure that the hook is facing out. Can be a little bit tricky depending on how much tension you're trying to get in, but once you have that, you're ready to go. Once you have that assisted tension cable where you want it to be, make sure you get the chains installed on your passenger side tire as well. Roll forward or backwards a few times to make sure that everything is locked in place, and then you're ready to hit the road. Overall, the Konig XB16 assisted tensioning diamond pattern snow tire chains again might be a good option for you if you do live in an area that gets a decent amount of inclement weather and you want chains that are pretty low profile and are going to last for a long time. If you like the way that they're set up, you can maybe check out the PWAG Brenta C tire chains. The connection is just a little bit different in the back. It's a hook rather than a stud, if that makes you more comfortable. But again, I think that the Konig XB16 chains are a really solid option And this was just a look at how we fit them on our 2023 Chevy Silverado 2500.